Some of you might be on the same page as me, but I really think The Expendables 5 needs to happen, if only so Stallone can finally break a frustrating career pattern that's messed up a lot of his films. Plus, I honestly believe Guy Ritchie would be the perfect person to breathe new life into Jason Statham's Expendables franchise. Whether it happens sooner or later, it feels inevitable. So let's dive into everything we know about the movie before it officially hits the big screen. One major reason The Expendables 5 needs to happen is that it has to break one of Stallone's worst career habits and finally kill off Barney Ross. The Expendables movies were Stallone's brainchild, meant to unite all the biggest action stars under one roof. Even with legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford, and Jet Li joining in, the franchise never fully lived up to its blockbuster potential. And let's be real, the box office failure of Expendables 4 might have been the final nail in the coffin. But honestly, that might be a blessing in disguise because the fourth film was easily the weakest of the bunch. Take Barney's death in Expendables 4, for example. The movie tried to trick audiences into believing Stallone's character was gone early on, only to reveal it was all a ruse by the end. The problem is, the fake-out was painfully obvious from the get-go. It could have been a powerful passing of the torch moment, giving Jason Statham's Christmas full control of the team. Instead, it just highlighted Stallone's unwillingness to let his characters actually die, robbing the film of any real dramatic weight. And that's the thing. The Expendables 5 should finally follow through and kill off Barney for real. The franchise is literally called The Expendables, yet only one major character, Liam Hemsworth's Billy the Kid, has actually died. Sure, some characters have taken a beating, but the mortality rate in this series is shockingly low. If anything, Barney's death would give the series the shakeup it desperately needs. Not only would it add real stakes to the story, but it could also serve as a proper send-off for the character. The third movie already hinted that the team was getting older and slower, so why not show Barney pushing his luck one last time and finally meeting his end? His death could lead to either Christmas fully taking over or a fresh new leader stepping in. Plus, it would give the franchise an emotional weight that's been missing for a while. And let's not forget, if Barney dies in Expendables 5, the team could finally give him the send-off he deserves. His fake memorial in the fourth film was seriously underwhelming. Only the current crew showed up, completely ignoring all the other mercenaries he fought alongside, like Trench or Document. A real farewell would bring back those familiar faces, making for a much more powerful moment. Would it automatically make Expendables 5 a masterpiece? No, but at least it would make things more interesting. The real issue here is that Stallone just doesn't let his characters die. Seriously, he hasn't technically died in a movie since 1978. Back in the day, he starred in FISD, where his character was gunned down in the final scene. Stallone hated that ending, thinking it sent the wrong message, that evil wins. Since then, he's made it a habit to keep his character alive, believing audiences don't want to see their heroes go out on a downer. Does he have a point? Maybe. But let's be real. His refusal to kill off his characters has become a glaring flaw. Barney should have died in Expendables 4 and other films like Get Carter and Rambo. Last Blood might have actually benefited from darker endings. There have been minor exceptions, like his villainous role in Ratchet and Clank or his twin brother in Samaritan. But even then, it's debatable whether those deaths really count. Stallone was even planning to kill off Rocky in Rocky V and Rambo in Last Blood, but he backed out at the last second. At this point, it feels like a pattern he just needs to break. If The Expendables 5 really is the final movie in the series, Barney's death will be the perfect way to wrap things up. The franchise started as a mix of 80s-style action and introspective drama about an aging mercenary searching for meaning. Over time, it leaned more into ridiculous action, losing some of that emotional depth. Bringing things full circle by giving Barney a proper send-off, maybe with the team coming together to avenge him, would add some much-needed weight to the finale. And let's talk about what The Expendables 5 could actually be. If done right, it could be a true return to form, bringing back the high-stakes action and camaraderie that made the first film so fun. Maybe Barney sacrifices himself on one final mission, forcing the remaining crew to step up and finish what he started. Maybe Christmas finally realizes this lifestyle has an expiration date and decides to walk away before it's too late. Either way, it would be a way better ending than just another predictable expendable shoot-up. Let's face it, the franchise needs a win. Looking at the numbers, the Expendables started strong, but things have gone downhill fast. The first film in 2010 had an $82 million budget and brought in $268 million at the box office, with a 42% Rotten Tomatoes score. The Expendables 2 in 2012 did even better, with a $100 million budget, a $311 million box office return, and a 67% Rotten Tomatoes score. But then things started slipping. The Expendables 3 had the same $100 million budget, but only made $209 million and dropped to a 32% RT score. And finally, Expendables 4 was a complete disaster, costing another $100 million, but only managing a measly $51 million at the box office, with an abysmal 14% RT score. That's a brutal decline, and it's clear that Expendables 4 did not leave things on a high note. If the franchise has any hope of redemption, the Expendables 5 needs to take risks, deliver an emotional punch, and actually do something different. Killing off Barney wouldn't just be a bold move, it'd be the right move. So, will the Expendables 5 actually happen? Who knows? But if it does, let's hope Stallone finally breaks his long-standing rule and gives Barney the proper exit he deserves. It's time for the Expendables to start living up to their name. That said, Guy Ritchie might just be the perfect person to save the Expendables franchise, and there's good reason to believe it. He gave Jason Statham his big break in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels back in 1998, then cast him again in Snatch, launching Statham's action career. Over the years, they've teamed up multiple times, including on Wrath of Man, one of Statham's best thrillers in recent years. Given that the Expendables is in desperate need of a creative overhaul, Ritchie could be the perfect person to bring new life into the franchise. Ritchie has proven himself as one of Hollywood's hardest-working directors, consistently churning out big-budget films since 2015. Many of his recent projects, like The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre, and the upcoming The Grip, are ensemble action films, showing that he knows how to handle a large cast and fast-paced storytelling. And that's all we know about the upcoming movie. Thanks for watching, and if something more comes out, then you'll know it. We will keep you updated. So, if you just give us a thumbs up to my channel and hit that subscribe button, we would appreciate that much more, and we'll see you in the next one.